Yo, we're rolling.
We rolling.
You know what I'm saying? So the bottom line is whoever's in here, blacks is gonna have it fucked up. Latinos is gonna have it fucked up. You better get off your ass and make it happen and work harder. Is it fair? No.
When I think about the lyricists that had me shit, like, Rakim a lot of times is different.
You're now tuned in to a fine healthy trap.
You know what I mean? Like, you take a black family household with the same education as a white family, they actually earn more income than the white family.
Where is that shit at?
Yeah.
Look, that's the thing.
We gotta pull that shit up. Yeah.
I don't believe that shit. I'm calling bullshit on that.
Don't let Obama get you fucked up out here. The world has not changed that much. It ain't all just music. When you talk about hip hop culture, it isn't just the music.
Correct.
The fucking kids in sports that, you know what I'm saying? Oh, let's get everybody get a trophy. No, man, nigga, you a loser. I'm sorry, dog. You don't get a fucking trophy.
Supreme clientele.
Fuck.
Cheers.
How did I forget that? Cheers. Yeah. Salute. Yeah. Right. Yeah. We was. I was watching that shit and I was like, man, this shit makes so much sense. I'm like, I don't understand why these motherfuckers sitting here, you know, trying to fight and praise these cats who, when you look at these motherfuckers was traitors, man.
Yeah,
like they completely went against the U.S. and be like, okay, y'all motherfuckers want to keep slavery, then we're gonna succeed from the Union. You know,
we don't
want to
be no part of it.
We don't want no part of it. We're gonna make our own confederate states of America. And I'm like, dude, are you serious? But yet, you know, we supposed to have some beautiful statues. You know, our beautiful statues.
So
You know,
do you feel they should go down?
I feel that they should go down. And I know, like, a lot of people, you know, I read somebody say that, man, the political correctness is in this world is like just out of control, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm like, and maybe I just come from a different side, but I'm always like, you know what? When it comes down to it, man, I don't think no one should want to offend anybody. And we all should have some political correctness to us. You know what I mean?
Got it.
And if there is something that is offensive to a large population in the country, then we should have to do that, because I don't feel like it's something that should be celebrated anyway. I mean, I love the analogy that everyone uses with the Germans. You know what I'm saying? And the Nazis.
There's
I'm like,
nothing in German.
No Hitler.
celebrates.
Now
the Nazis.
there are some gas chambers and stuff that are still up though, right? Gas chambers and all of that. There's no
I haven't
statues.
even heard of
there's
that.
no statues glorifying Hitler.
Yeah, there's no statues glorifying Hitler.
If they do have, they may have some things to
That's
commemorate
kind of made it
you.
as a memorial,
No,
like
this is what it was.
Yeah.
To kind of give you that reminder.
Reminder.
But I don't think it's nothing that's basically celebrated.
Yeah.
You'll see the Nazi sign more in America than you'll see it in Germany.
yeah.
Oh no,
in Germany.
it's against the law to have to even show a swastika in Germany. Like it is against the law. You know what I mean? And it is against the law for anyone to try to you know, immortalize the Third Reich or you know Nazism. Like, it is completely against the law. Like, they do not look at it as that's something that we should be celebrating. It is something that is embarrassing in our past, and we are completely, we feel completely bad about it, and we want to get past it. But getting past it to them is not like sweeping it under the rug. Getting past it to them, it's it's like more than anything, they have all these monuments that pay tribute to the Jews that lost their lives, and everything in there. It's nothing that is to kind of say hell to Hitler and the Third Reich, man. Like,
I think that they have taken a lot more accountability for what they did.
Yeah, what they did.
Me personally, I'm kind of indifferent about the statues.
Okay.
I feel like it doesn't really solve anything. I feel like the racism that exists in America is so much deeper than the statues. I understand the part, that some people might say, well, it's a step forward if we remove them. If it's not a reflection of who we are now, let's remove it. I understand that side of it also. I just think it's just such a deeper issue than the statues. And what I find ironic is that a lot of times, I mean, we kind of talk about Nazism more than communism. You know what I mean? Like, nobody really talks about, the millions of people that have died from communism, Mao, 70 million, Soviet Union, Cambodia, all of these different things. And it's looked at different than the Nazism, and...
Well, especially in America, because we celebrate communism here, to some degree.
Well, and I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that statement, man. Because I don't...
Because the what happened with the Germans was definitely the most systemized genocide, atrocious
of a people
event of a people. I think that happened. I think although the numbers that have been killed in communism are higher, but I feel that it was more of a heinous act. The Germans, what they did as far as just lining up a group of people, women, children, men, and just saying you're being sent to death. You know what I mean? Whereas I think communism is they're killing their own people. Mao killing 70 million Chinese people. Cambodia, I think I forget the ratio, 3 out of 5 Cambodian people would die from communism, or something like that.
But was that based on Mao though, or was that more of based on because of the war that was going on? You know what I mean?
It's like definitely reflective of Mao.
I understand that, but I don't know. To me, it's. I mean, and I may be coming from, a position of a little bit more support for communism.
Yeah.
Probably have to be very careful with my words.
Yeah,
Fuck
I mean,
the U.S. like they try to. I read the manifesto, and I'm like actually a very keen observer, and I would say, have a very big curiosity on if communism was done the way that Marx and Engels truly wrote about, and you would not have the greed of men who have power to corrupt it. I don't know if communism is a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? What has happened in in Cambodia and in Vietnam.
If you look at everything that has been under communist countries, though, what really good has came from it?
No, I mean, like I said, I mean, I believe more in the concept.
I got you. And don't get me wrong, the narrative of communism is a lot different than what the Nazis were doing.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That's why I get a little.
I think the narrative sounds nicer, but what reflected from it was not nice. You know what I mean? So I think that's why the way we feel as Americans towards it is a little different.
Yeah,
but it's almost like, okay, we feel more sensitive of the Nazi situation because they killed people that weren't theirs, but for the people killing like Mao and all of these other communist areas where it's looked at different because they're killing the same, almost like blacks, for instance.
But
look how many blacks are being killed in Africa.
Exactly,
millions, but nobody's talking about it. It's almost like when you're killing your own, it's not the narrative that's pushed out.
Look the same.
Well, because I think because more than anything in those cases, it's based on a belief. It's just like the Civil War here. Yeah. Like more people died, or more Americans died in the Civil War than any other war. Yet we were fighting because one side had one belief system, the other had another.
Correct.
In Cambodia, Vietnam, they were fighting the communists because it's just like nothing different than in Syria right now. People felt like we are not being heard, we're being shut down because the communists don't want us to speak or anything like that. So next thing you knew, when you do, when people did speak, then they would, be jailed or killed, you know what I'm saying?
Correct.
all of those,
even in
you know,
China, you get killed for having a Bible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I mean, in a communist country, and that's what I said. I think, you know, I need to be very, very careful with my words because I don't want to say that communism gets a bad rap, but I think that, unfortunately, we have not had any good examples of what communism can be in a country aspect. I think that there are great, you know, and they just had this on CNN. I don't know if you guys watch the United Shades of America with Kamal Bell.
No, I never seen that.
I always want to get into that.
Yeah, it's a very good show. But they had, and I saw a little piece of it. He was, you know, doing one show, and he went to this place called it's called The Farm. And what it was is it was a hippie commune that started way back, you know what I'm saying, in the 60s. A bunch of, you know, hippies that kind of got, you know, done with, you know, the whole Summer of Love at the 67. They felt like, you know, people were like, you know, kind of getting, you know, like, they're not, like we were talking about earlier, motherfuckers ain't doing it right. They're not really, they're not being real hippie.
You ain't a real Satanist.
Exactly.
You ain't real.
So they went and they had bought like a bunch of fucking land, like up in like the Appalachians or whatever. And, you know, it was probably like started with like 100 of them. They all like kind of pulled their money together and just bought this massive plot of land. And they were like, this is going to be our commune, the farm. And our rules are, you know, we're not going to have, you know, any money, you know, anything that we do, we're going to trade. A bunch of them went and learned how to farm. They made their own food. You know what I'm saying? They, you know, made their own clothes. Everybody who was a part of the group, you know, they were a part in society. You know, some of the people, you know, who left with them, you know, were doctors. So, you know, they made their own, you know, a little hospital to be able to care for people there. Like, and none of it, you know, everything is the people helping the people. Anything that they get from like the crops that they sold or whatever goes completely back into building more in the farm. Everybody helped and build each other houses and shit like that. Like, to me, that's communism that Marx and Engels, you know, spoke about. It's like the power of the people and not allowing money to let people destroy other people. You know what I'm saying? Because in that greed, you know, they feel whoever has the power and the money is always going to be greedy. So you have to be able to give the power back to the people, you know. And in every country, whether that be, you know, Cuba, where, you know, Castro started out as a, you know, to me, I feel, you know, a great visionary. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Che Guevara really had the vision, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, he was a devout communist, but, you know, everything that they wanted to do for Cuba in the beginning was right, because a lot of people felt that imperialism, because of the way, you know, the relationship that Cuba had with America, you know, you had the Cuban people who were getting shitted on, but yet there was, you know, like what, 80% of all the companies that did anything in Cuba were all American companies. And he was like, you know, why the fuck are we doing this? Like, our own people should be coming up. Like, this is our land, this is our resources. You know what I'm saying? Just in order to, you know, for the upper politicians to get fat, you know, they allowed the U.S. to basically come in and do all this. And, you know, they felt that we needed to give the, you know, the money and the resources back to our people. And, you know, I feel like that's a great thing. But, of course, what happens then is, you know,
greed and power.
Yeah, greed and power, man.
But
it
goes with any situation. Capitalism.
Sorry, man.
On piece of paper sounds good. And, you know, it's like you said, you got to be careful on how you word it. But on piece of paper, it sounds good and it can work well. I don't want to say it hasn't worked well in the U.S., but just as in other areas, greed has changed the whole perspective and the whole original vision of what capitalism was supposed to be. I believe capitalism, if done in the correct manner, can do well. But I believe it hasn't done well because, just as we spoke, greed and power takes over. You know, and that's the problem with the country. But kind of putting it back to the statues, where I think they should come down, but I do believe, like Ant said, we can't believe, okay, that's the end
Oh,
all
yeah, no.
because the statues is down.
the thing
you
is,
know, I just think as kids, you know, once you make these statues and you immortalize people or events, you know, children look at this and they believe that this is something to look at. This is something to cherish. This is something to rather strive for or celebrate.
Yeah.
You know, so with the more generations that we put these statues in front of kids, the more we're going to have that think this ideology is okay, this belief system is okay. So I do agree that, yes, you know, they need to come down. It needs to be something different. But by the same token, we can't just believe, okay, it's all good, the statues come down, because it is bigger than just the statue. It's a whole mind state, a whole belief system that goes along with your boy Lee and his beliefs and what was going on.
Stonewall Jackson.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 'cause I mean,
it's you can't. So it's. I've always felt that has been the problem, especially with African Americans, especially since slavery, is that we get a little piece, and then we're happy, and we're done, and we feel the fight is over. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, we can drink water from the white man's faucet, so it's all good. We don't have to fight. We don't have to do this, or
It's almost
you
like
know,
a,
we can get in the bus.
Stockholm syndrome. You ever heard of that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Where you're captive, like people that are kidnapped or held in captivity. If like the person that has abducted them says you can have a glass of water, you feel a certain appreciation for that, where you feel a certain way that they're being nice to you,
Right.
Because your life's on the line, so you're just grateful to have a glass of water.
Yeah.
You know, it's the Stockholm syndrome, and that's really, like you said, from slavery, what we've had. You know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and
Like, oh, okay, yeah,
You know
man,
what
I
I mean?
feel good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We
Like,
can sit in the front of the bus. now.
yeah, like
The fight
okay.
is over. We
Yeah.
made
Some
it.
water?
We've overcome.
Oh, man.
drink some water, nigga.
I can go to the white man's store.
Oh my god!
You know,
Oh, we
I could buy a house.
Yeah, exactly.
you know?
are you serious?
Yeah, you know,
We made it.
but you know, it's one of those things where if you, man, it's if you remove the statues, you almost got to just remove everything, you know. And
Nah, I don't believe that.
because I feel like I feel like it doesn't glorify them. I don't think niggas should be out there building new statues.
Yeah.
I think that the existing ones. This is the reason why we have museums today. Museums was all colonialism. Excuse me. Of niggas that went on different territories, killed them, took their goods, and these are how museums exist, right? So. Do we close down all museums? It tells a story, you know what I mean? I don't think we should build new statues. I think they exist. Hey, this is Robert Lee. This is what he stood for. This is how far we've came. This is how far we move. It's like, I mean, this may not be on the same extreme, but because Bill Cosby dropped some drinks into a couple white girls' cups,
Yeah.
do we take his reruns off TV? You know what I mean? Like nigga, fuck all Cosby Show reruns. Nigga, you know what I mean?
It has
think it's
happened
fake.
for a lot of.
And
for a
you know
lot
what I'm
of
saying?
channels,
And
a lot of
you
things.
know, do we get rid of the $20 bill? You know, because
But are we still celebrating those things? Colonialism?
that's
Are we
the
still
thing.
really celebrating?
some people don't believe in
still,
museums. You know, and that's
the
understood
thing
too.
where kind of like with the museum, not the museums, but basically with the statues, is that people are still gravitating to this ideology where I don't know too many people that's, you know, a group of people that's gravitating to colonialism.
yeah.
Or a lot of things that was going on at that time. So, I mean, there is definitely a point in that where it's like, I mean, do you worry? Are we going to start? You take one statue down and then we got to take everything down. But I think too, it's a belief system that goes along with that.
Correct.
That is stagnated to that. It's just like we can make all kind of things with the KKK. Okay, that was a part of a period of time, and it's not a big thing no more. But it's just so much tied to that symbolism of the Ku Klux Klan that you just can't look at it and just,
You know what I'm saying? And
just
not
be cool.
completely, alienate, a section of the American population, And I mean, and so I know I was watching CNN and there was one brother on there that was on there talking, and he was like, And I was like, man, I'm sure I could feel for him. Because, like, you know, in California, we don't see shit like that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? That's non-existent.
Yeah.
But he was like, you don't understand how being, you know, a young black boy and growing up and seeing these men immortalized in these statues and then knowing what they stood for, what that does to my psyche to where I feel like, oh, wow, like, you know, these are some very important figures, you know, in America, but yet they didn't want me to have my freedoms. They didn't look at me as being, you know what I'm saying? You know, they looked at me as being 2/5 of a human being and that I should never, you know, have the same fucking rights as,
It's a great point.
as they do. You know what I'm saying?
Great
And I was
point.
like,
Something that
man,
we don't
that's
think
something
about
that we
coming
don't
from
see.
But he could also walk by that statue and spit on it and say,
And
look
very
how far
true.
a nigga came.
Very true. But
Yeah.
yet, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if I'm sure if there was a fucking Nat Turner statue somewhere, someone would have a big problem, and that shit would never happen.
I hear you.
You know what I
I hear
mean?
you.
Like,
Yeah.
we have to be real about this. I mean, you can spit on anything.
Correct,
I'm sure
correct.
there's some white folks that spit on
Oh,
Martin
yeah.
Luther King statue.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
You know what I'm saying?
sure.
You know,
Yeah.
but you know, do we need to, you know, immortalize these people is, you know, kind of the thing. And I also agree, you know, with Lust that, you know, I was talking about this the other day. I was like, I don't think people realize how long this shit has been bubbling up. Because I'm like, how many motherfuckers, you know, that you've seen with the rebel flag in the back of their truck with the fucking gun rack back there? How many motherfuckers have said, you know, the South will rise again? Like they tattoo that shit on their fucking backs or something like that. Like, when you think about that, what does that mean? Oh, motherfuckers gonna rise again and like fucking enslave black people again? Why is it so important to you that the South will rise again? Why haven't you still in the 21st fucking century, you know, have thought about like, you know what? Ending that shit made this country a lot better.
Right.
Why do you still want to go back?
Got you.
You know what I mean? Like you still think that was the way that life should have been. And
Correct.
And that's why I have a problem with the Make America Great Again. It's like, what are you?
What a lot of people have said, like they've asked people, like, well, what are you referring?
What
to?
are you referring to?
What time?
What
period?
time period are we talking?
Yeah.
Great for who? You know what I'm saying? When you talk about the 50s,
like
for certain people, it was
some
great.
people
for
it's
them.
great.
Yeah.
But
For
a lot of
some of us,
motherfuckers
it
was
wasn't
getting
that
lynched,
good.
and we was just
You
drinking
know
from
what I'm
Denton
saying?
Fountains,
So
and
it's
we
like-
couldn't,
Correct.
you know, we
And
had
like
to
you
sit in the
said,
back of the
like you
bus.
said, it's been bubbling over in certain things, whether you talk about Obama's election, whether you talk about gay rights, where you talk about the rise in the Latino community.
Yeah.
White cats ain't feeling this shit.
No, man.
They're not feeling this
Right.
shit. So when they look at, you know, like you said, the South rising or the Civil War or Lee and his beliefs or you know what I'm saying, the Nazis and their beliefs, it all ties in.
Yeah.
And it makes them feel, you know, okay, this is what we're going to get back to. This is what we got to get back to. You know, this is the belief system. This is how.
Word.
Yeah, this is what's going to make white superior again.
Yeah.
And you know, I do. I think that was a great analogy where they always say that with us, with liberals. You know what I'm saying, on whether it's the East Coast or the West Coast, where when you get in the middle America, it's completely different. It's a different mindset. It's different things that you see, you know, as a black person, as a Latino person,
Correct.
you know, someone in Nebraska, we just not gonna see in California.
Yeah.
Correct.
You know what I
You know
mean?
what I'm saying?
Alabama.
Yeah, you know.
Mississippi. You know what I mean? Like,
You rarely see people ride. I mean, it's how you see people with the Confederate flag. You see people make.
every once in a
It's
while.
rare,
It's
though.
rare though.
It's
But-
rare.
Correct.
And them
And if they
fucking
are, a
southern
lot of
states-
them are undercover.
Yeah.
out here. That's one thing I will give them out in Nebraska, Alabama. They straight up.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
ain't no hiding. You know, they pretty much they gonna let you know, and we don't do the nigga thing.
Yeah.
we don't do that. We don't do that Latino shit over here, man.
I know you were just talking about like the the white supremacy or white nationalists and not feeling everything, and I definitely feel that. I personally, I know you were just talking about capitalism. I actually am for capitalism. I think,
I'm for it in
yeah.
the correct
because
way.
when I think
I just don't
capitalism,
think
I'm
it's-
thinking,
it's I think it's just got greed.
Spotify, Tidal, Airbnb, Uber, all of these great things that capitalism brings. I honestly think the capitalist free market is not worried about race. I think
No.
I think
Money is there.
No,
Yeah.
money.
You know what I mean? I do agree that some people might feel like they might gravitate towards their own race, but I feel like someone's always going to put themselves before everyone else.
Oh, yeah.
And that themselves are going to be the buck. So
Yeah.
if with the capitalist free market, it doesn't exist, and that's why I'm sure you agree with that form of capitalism.
But the capitalism that I don't agree with is the statement greed is good. I don't necessarily believe greed is good. And I believe that's where the downfall in capitalism comes in.
Got you.
This trickle down effect and all this other stuff that comes along with capitalism. Like I said, if it's done in the correct way, which in a lot of aspects in this country, it is done in the right way. But in other aspects, just as in anything, there's no foolproof, no 100% situation. No, and no ideology that you put out there.
Correct.
But I just am firmly against, as the 80s brought about with capitalism, that greed
The 80s
is
greed
good.
is good, man. Like
I don't agree with
and
that
the-
at all.
the Carter era.
No, that was the Reagan.
That was the
era.
Reagan era. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wall Street,
Wall
all those
Street,
good days. You know,
yeah,
where and
Reaganomics and all that.
And that's where it's like even.
But Carter did an electoral. His was what period was Carter?
Carter was right before
Reagan.
But I know
4
he did
years.
that.
So he was
Yeah.
76 to 80.
80. Yeah, but Reaganomics was full crack era. That's
Yeah,
that's
it's
what you're
talking
about,
82.
Yeah.
But I know Carter, like he did didn't he do like a full election or something at the KKK building in Alabama? Didn't he do that?
So that's funny you say that because I was just watching a documentary on Carter.
And that was in 1980.
And it was pretty interesting because so Carter was, because he was from the South.
Correct.
He was a good Southern boy. He grew up on a farm and everything.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then he went into the military. It was like, I think he went to West Point or something like that. Like
Got
he
it.
was, a very declarated, veteran, but was very smart. He kind of did the same thing, which when we look at politics, that's what a lot of these motherfuckers do.
What's up?
He kind of saw that even though he was a Democrat, he was able to kind of identify with that kind of racist base because he was from the South, which even a lot of people even said, that was the whole thing why Clinton kind of got pushed up.
Exactly.
Because Southern whites felt that, he understands us.
So he was
he's
from,
not the elite.
He was from the South, though,
He's
right?
not the elite.
Yeah, he's from Georgia.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So he
from
was
Georgia.
definitely around all the races.
Oh yeah. So he was definitely around. So there was even, and I'm gonna, I can't quote it like word from word, but I remember in that documentary there was a time where he did have to go up and basically
1980.
renounce.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The
Well, he did he renounce it? Because I know he did it at an event at the KKK building in Alabama.
Yeah, but it was later on where he had to
Afterwards,
denounce them.
'cause I know he got a lot of heat for
Yeah, he got a lot of heat. A lot of
for
people
that.
were saying that, hey.
But that pandering and all that has been going on.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Since
Like,
FDR.
yeah,
you know what I mean, we were texting.
You can go before that.
We was talking about
man.
the New Deal.
Yeah.
I mean, when he brought that in,
shit happened with Lincoln.
Oh yeah,
That's
way
another
back.
thing
Yeah.
even with
Correct,
Lincoln,
correct.
he knew that he wanted to side.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying with the abolitionists, but he was like,
yeah.
man, I don't know, like. I don't know if I'll be able to get elected. And even if I did, you know what I'm saying? Even after he got elected, he was like, then when they were in the war, he was like, I don't know if the Northern whites who, are basically kind of fighting, his whole thing was, I'm just in the war to keep the Union together. It's not about slavery. Like, we're not trying to make it about that. Because he was worried.
Would you say he was more for the people than the FDR that did the New Deal? Right?
Did I say Lincoln was more for the people?
Would you say that?
That's kind of hard to say, man. No,
Lincoln and free the slaves, man. What's up?
but Lincoln freed the slaves, but I think he freed the slaves after he got so much fucking heat. And I'm not saying,
Of course,
that
FDR had heat too, but he used it for his good. Where he wanted, he brought the New Deal, but he was trying to pander to the Democrats in the South, because they were running the Congress. So so he put in the New Deal, but he's like, you know what? I'm not going to do an anti-lynching bill because I don't want to make them mad.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So, but his wife was a big proponent.
His wife was the
whole reason. The whole reason
went exactly. She was with it. You know what I mean? But there was a lot of crutches in that New Deal. Where
I mean, you realize,
and I know you talk about the New Deal all the time.
Yeah, and we never talked about it on here.
We never talked about it on here.
There was a lot of unanswered questions.
But you got to realize too,
we could get into the New Deal.
Anytime you successful in the Congress,
FDR was great, man.
You have to break.
You like FDR?
I like FDR because I think FDR made the country feel good in a fucking horrible
After the Depression,
man. Yes. It was a horrible time, man. Like, I could not even imagine.
Did he make black people feel good, though?
No. I mean, a lot of these motherfuckers, I'm sorry, like, early on did not make black people feel good at all. Because, like, I mean,
absolutely. Because if you think about all the shit that happened with the New Deal, I mean, you couldn't buy a house in a white neighborhood, couldn't start a business.
Yeah.
They even cut down fucking where you couldn't pay niggas that were in the agricultural field or farming. Black people held most of those positions. So that was just a leeway to not pay black people. You know what I mean?
I didn't know about that.
So it was all kind of shit.
I had to read a lot about the New Deal.
I've done a lot of research.
Because everything that I've always known about the about that and during that time,
and that
is
and that's when the Democrats,
a lot of government stuff,
that's when black people started going Democrat. A lot of people think the civil rights. You know what I mean?
They got it was more Republicans at that time.
All the way. War.
Yeah.
But a lot
Lincoln
of Lincoln
was a Republican.
He was.
You know what I mean?
He was.
The Republican Party was, that's why everybody talks about the flip flop of it. Is that
correct?
The Republican Party was the party of Lincoln.
Booth was Democrat, right? That assassinated him.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, he was Democrat.
Yes, he was.
And Johnson, that went in, the vice president, was a Democrat. And he was also aligning with a lot of the Democrats in the South who were against a lot of shit.
Southern Democrats, man, in the beginning. I mean, because that was the party, of slavery. You know what I'm saying? I mean, during the beginning of the party. Yeah, the beginning of the U.S. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was the party, man. Yeah. And there was a lot of Republicans that was there.
They were prominent in the 1820s, but they really didn't get stronger to like probably 1850s or something like that. You know what I mean?
Well, I think Lincoln was the first Republican president.
Correct.
And I think that after him, it did kind of start a wave of Republicans to be more prominent, but there were still a lot more Democratic presidents. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But Lincoln kind of
got the ball rolling.
He got the ball rolling.
Yeah. Kicked that whole thing off.
Correct.
But
because I think after he got assassinated, it was the Congress at that time when they were fighting for everything. They said that black people aren't citizens; they're property.
Yes.
That was the whole slogan.
That was the whole thing.
That was the belief system.
Yeah.
I mean,
and Lincoln, even though he did not, really believe that, slavery was a good thing, I mean, I think almost a lot of those cats felt that it was going to bring eventually it was going to bring the country to ruin. He was, like you said, trying to pander to the other side and didn't really want to start. I mean, he was seriously worried that if he freed the slaves and made the war about slavery, that half the Union Army would probably leave the Union Army.
Oh, yeah.
Because they still felt, even though the wave of the abolitionists were coming,
correct,
a lot of the people in the North still kind of had, tendencies where they're like, well, I don't really want them niggas around me either. I may not own slaves, but you know what I mean? Like, I still kind of feel, a little bit more superior, than them. And it wasn't, except for the abolitionist movement, where, it was like, they kind of put his feet to the fire and was like, and also what helped that as well, and this is what I just found out, from the documentary I was watching, is that, and I'm saying politics is fucking ugly, man.
It is, man.
It's always pandering.
It's always,
Anyone who's been successful in getting things done has had to pander to the opposite party. I don't give a damn who it is. You can bring up Reagan, FDR.
Well, shouts out to
Lincoln.
Hillary. She did a whole lot of pandering.
You know what I'm saying? And
That shit didn't work.
It did not work.
She brought hot sauce to the Breakfast Club.
Hey, but get this, which is really cold. What I was about to say about Lincoln.
Yeah.
When he finally signed the Emancipation, is that he was so worried that France and England had said, "Well, hey, we may have to get into the war if you guys do not allow, us to get the cotton from the South." Because when the North started taking over the ports, then there was a freeze on goods that were being sent to fucking England.
Correct.
So they were like, damn, if we don't do something, England's going to end up siding on the side of the South, and if England and France side with them and get in the war, then the North would fucking lose. You know what I'm saying? Because there was no way that they could take that army.
They were still a superpower at that time.
Yeah, but England and France was against slavery. So they felt, okay, maybe I can finally do it if we denounce slavery and... You know what I'm saying? Put that out there, then France and England would say, you know what, you guys are fighting a good fight, and they would not get into the war.
Right.
That was the last thing that pushed them.
One interesting thing, I you already know. Yeah, I'm about to
talk about the New Deal again.
The damn New Deal.
The newer deal.
I got the newer deal. Yeah. What Jay already laughing and shit. Nigga, hand about to come with something.
As soon as the pause comes, and I was just thinking.
What's that nigga thinking? Here it comes. You know what I mean? That's why you gotta love this show, man. The dynamics. Black people, if you think about it, right? We have suffered more from liberal policy than from slavery.
How the fuck is that? How the fuck is that?
That's that Trump.
Man, dude. I'm gonna tell you,
Check it out, bro.
You really gonna make that comparison?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of genocide with slavery that carried on, and I think sometimes we give Willie Lynch too much credit. I know he wrote the letter and shit like that, but if you think about it, in the 1950s, or 50 years after slavery, 4 out of 5 African American households had a 2-parent home. This is facts.
Okay.
In the country, or is this one? Because last time you gave us that stat.
In the country, 4 out of 5.
One city.
No. This is the country.
One county.
This is the country. 4 out of 5 African American households, 50 years after slavery, had a 2-parent home. From the year 1890 to 1940, a black kid was more susceptible to having a 2-parent home than a white kid. So that leads me to say, what happened? This is 50 years after slavery. If slavery was the direct result of the decimation of the black household, then why were we doing so good in the 50s, in the 60s, and from 1890 to 1940?
But you got to give the correlation with that with liberals. I don't.
Well, this is where it shifted though, because we were doing good. Around that time.
My nigga, I cannot say we were doing good.
If you ask people in the 50s and 40s, they're not going to tell you they were doing good.
No, I'm saying good.
I don't think
I'm saying good in the sense of having a 2-parent home. A 2-parent home. Because if you think about it, this all ties in with the New Deal, right? The New Deal.
No. You got to bring more.
Now check it out.
You got me, man. I'm finna read a book on
you
the
gotta
New
read
Deal,
all this shit. You gotta read all this shit.
And I'm not gonna read like that fucking right wing shit that you read.
Nah.
I'm gonna read something that's
go to
really
some unbiased shit.
Yeah,
because
unbiased.
We know most of the media is left anyway. So I mean, but you got to go to some unbiased shit.
Man, you listen to Trump
shit, man.
It is
some Trump shit.
Come on, man. MSNBC, CNN, all of that is left, right?
Yeah, but what's
That's
the biggest
all that.
network?
Fox,
for,
but
Exactly.
double the audience of the number 2 network.
No, but you got Fox, and then you got the 10 other networks that are all Democratic. That's 10 times what Fox is doing. So if you
but they're
Fox can only put out so much media. Yeah, they are Republican. They are right, absolutely,
And have the biggest
But
audience.
Not of all 10
Of all 10.
put together though.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
But the first couple, I think second and third, they got a bigger audience than the second and third.
If you a strong nigga in the gym and you the buffest nigga and you got 10 niggas that come jump you, they're gonna win, right? It don't matter how strong you are. It don't matter how.
I don't
you know what I mean?
know.
I don't know about that.
If you get,
I don't know, man.
I don't know about that.
I saw a lot of kung fu flicks, man. That's all like
Steven Seagal and all that shit. You know, Steven Seagal might take a nigga. You know what I mean?
Bruce Lee, I don't know, my nigga. I think he
Bruce Lee might hit him.
30.
You know. Well, we ain't gonna give Fox that much credit. They ain't Bruce Lee. You know what I mean?
But
And don't get me wrong, I'm not a big Fox fan.
I don't
I'm not
think
a
there's
big
any
Fox fan.
studies that can really link.
It's true.
Whether you talk about the New Deal or anything
but the New Deal,
Black family,
finish.
Black family.
Because I'm still not understanding where this tie into liberal politics.
Well, this is also because the thing is, when you think about the New Deal, right? This was the inception of massive government welfare. This was the inception of project housing, right? Mm-hmm. So if you think about Harlem in the projects back in the day, white celebrities used to come through Harlem, and it was a safe place. It was a nice place to go. They used to hang out there and see entertainment. If you look at projects back in the day, they used to leave their doors unlocked because not everybody could afford cable. And not everybody could afford a TV.
So with no cable in there.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
In the
So
New Deal.
not everybody could afford a TV. So what the people in the projects would do is leave their doors unlocked so that other neighbors' kids can come in and watch TV, right? So this is something that just sounds far-fetched when we think about the projects today. So what shifted? You know what I mean? What shifted in the projects? What shifted in the black African-American household where we had more two-parent homes than the white family from 1890 to 1940. What happened where 4 out of 5 households had two-parent homes? And if we look at that, that is true. Even if you look at the baby boomers and the generations above them, there were more African-American households that were solid. This is after slavery, right? We have the largest growth of anybody. We didn't know how to read. We didn't know how to write. We were fed chitlins. We were fed all this bullshit, but look at the growth that we did just in that 50 years. Nobody has done that type of growth. So
I mean, I'm not gonna say that black folks are some strong motherfuckers.
That's why I'm pro school voucher, because if you give them the opportunity and the choice, black people are gonna flourish, and that's what we did. So I think that once the welfare, the governmental welfare came in, it made the black woman marry the government rather than the black man, and I think it kind of made it to where
it's fucking hard for me.
It's fucked up to say, but it's like
I think it's all subjective, though. I think it's all subjective. I
don't even think that you can say that in just the black community. I think in any fucking community.
Up to the 40s. I'm glad you mentioned that, because if you look at, and I'll touch on that. All fucking across the board. This isn't just blacks. If you look at two-parent homes back in the day in Hispanic culture, marriage, but our gross is the largest. It's like by 50%. Because we had like 20 and now it's like 70-something. Even white parent households, that it's less marriage. I think marriage is a lot more, less devalued than it was back in the day.
Yeah,
so don't get me wrong. This isn't just an African-American thing. I'm just preaching on us because this is our people.
Yeah.
And because we have the largest growth of no people in the household, 50%. Because we went from 20% in the 50s to now at 70-something% of no two-parent households. Hispanic has had a growth as well. White people have had a growth as well, but ours has been more astronomical. That's where we got to look at it. Like, okay, and I'm not even saying that I have the answer. I'm just saying whenever I see people that only pointed to slavery, then I'm like, well, why were we kind of getting it right around the 50s and from the 40s and 60s? Why would the households seem like we were going stronger and then we plateaued or we dipped? You know what I mean? Because it dipped right after the 60s. After that,
I mean, when you even look at any other community, like Compton was a middle class black community that, of
Yeah.
course, is a fucking ghetto now. You know what I mean? And you have instances of that all across the U.S. You know, to me, I don't look at it as like the black woman got welfare and was like, "Fuck it, I don't need my nigga no more." I think the niggas walked out quicker than.
But that's what I'm saying. They were forced to marry the government because we.
But how was that?
I don't get the correlation.
Yeah, I just don't understand how's that bad.
I mean,
You know
I
what
think it's
Like,
I think it's a combination of so many things where it's difficult to sit here and say it's just like anything with the African American community. It's too complex to say it's one situation.
Oh, it's multiple.
That
It's multiple
causes.
things.
So when you say liberal politics made it, to me, that simplifies it. It's not just that simple that,
simple, man.
okay, the New Deal came, we got welfare, this and that. This made it bad for the African American community.
Yeah.
To just tie it just to that one situation, it simplifies it. It's not that simple.
It's not that simple.
It could
You're
be.
right.
It could be.
But it's a big
part of it,
component because if you think
it
about
could
the
be a part of it,
liberal
but-
policies, like I said, the welfare, taking away the freedom of choice to go to what school you want to go to, leaving those kids, we were just talking about that in the previous episodes, subject to the bad areas that they're in, right? The policing in those areas.
yeah, but
When
I
are
mean,
you going to blame the Republicans for the Reaganomics? I mean, we can do that all day.
We've never had a school voucher program. Everybody was always based upon where you lived at, and except for when they went to integrate schools.
There
and
are
then they
some
start
areas where
busting.
with the charters, they're integrating the school choice, as they call it. It's not really school vouchers.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, like, you're saying, like, you know, you almost act like we had that, like, in the, you know, the early part of the century. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like a new concept that people are, you know what I'm saying, you know,
But I'm just saying
basically-
how those policies have carried on into even now. You know what I mean?
And isn't the school voucher program, when you really look at it, you know, allowing people to, you know, giving people a choice, isn't that kind of giving people something, almost like welfare? Okay, I don't live in the nice neighborhood, but I can get a voucher from the government in order to go.
No,
to
I would look at school voucher different than welfare because you're allowing that kid to get a different education. You could take that to the moon. You know what I mean? You can't take welfare to the moon.
You can't take welfare, but you can take the opportunity of welfare.
You
now,
can.
I'm not going
You
to
can.
say that there aren't a lot of lazy ass people. You know what I'm
Correct.
saying? That
If
take
you look
advantage
at
of the
LA
situation.
Times did a study in 1985. I'm sure if they did the same shit today, it would be the same. They asked poor people and above poverty line people, would you have? Do you feel like you would have more children to get more benefits? People above the poverty line said no. 80-something% of the people that were below the poverty line said yes. They would have more kids to get more benefits. So
And I can
and that's a fucked up ideology.
No, and
you know what I mean?
But if you go to a low income people
Yeah.
or low income community, if you ask a lot of questions that don't make sense, you know, if you look at the gang violence or the gang culture, that shit don't make sense.
No.
Correct.
But of course, if you go to that neighborhood and I go do a survey,
Oh, yeah,
there,
no,
of course that's going to be the
we
thing.
understand it. We
But
understand that.
But of course,
mindset.
if I go to a place that's more affluent, of course, I'm not. With
Yeah.
Of course, it's going to be that. So
Correct.
Those studies to me are biased. It's a biased study because when you're dealing with people who don't have the education, the knowledge or the upbringing that an affluent family has, of course, this is like anytime you deal with blacks in a certain neighborhood.
Yeah.
I mean, as me as black, it's
Oh,
like
we
I
dealt
don't want
with
to deal with
them.
them
Yeah, we
niggas.
dealt with them.
You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Absolutely.
That's why I'm
just
over where
what
I'm at.
It is what it is.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
But
we
it's-
know
it's
that
like-
mind state in these
yeah,
areas
so
is
it's
way,
like
way out.
So it's like to
Yeah.
me to go with that aspect and those politics, you're gonna get ignorance when you go to ignorance. That's what you're gonna get. It's just like
Correct.
when you go to a fire or something, you talk to that ignorant nigga in the corner. He is gonna give you that ignorant nigga in the corner. He's gonna give you that ignorant ass statement.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what you're gonna get.
No, it's true.
So, and it's
true.
like, to me, if you're gonna, just as in, I can't blame, Reaganomics did a lot of fucked up things to
I agree.
African Americans.
I agree.
And for me to say everything
War on drugs,
that
war on
happened,
property, too.
yeah,
All
everything
of
that
that.
happened
All that.
to African Americans was because of Reaganomics. Once again, simplifies it. You know what I'm saying?
and what did
It's a
Lyndon-
whole lot of things.
What
that-
did Lyndon Johnson say? He did the war on poverty. He said, "I'll be having niggas voting Democrat for 200 years." Didn't he say that?
I gotta look it up. I didn't know. It sounded like some motherfucker would say, "Yeah, Lyndon Johnson was a bastard."
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean that's
he may have
that's
been
a
a
quote.
Democrat, but you know what I'm saying.
know,
So I'm not gonna.
everybody knew that he was. So I'm sure he did.
I had them niggas vote Democrat 200 years.
So
I hear you though.
here's the thing, though. Here's always been my biggest thing, and whenever people, shit on, welfare and everything,
And by the way, I'm not shitting on welfare. I'll touch more on that when you go. Yeah.
to me, I always feel like the welfare system is like the prison system. You know what I mean? You need to, well, it's a little, a little bit different when I'm about to say it, but if you're worried about, the prison system and rehabilitating somebody, you need to really rehabilitate them.
Yes.
Same thing like welfare. It's not like people do not need a helping hand sometimes, man.
Absolutely.
Fucking people
Absolutely.
are struggling.
Correct.
And I think that is if you want to get religious about it, I think that is the godly thing to do. And I think that is the thing that even as a good person to your fellow man, you should help them out. Like, this shouldn't be like the 17th century in England where there was like motherfuckers like begging for bread and people would like fucking kick them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Peasants.
we don't, fucking, people
yeah.
didn't give a shit about poor people then.
Pauper.
Like, yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like,
Prince and the Pauper and
peasant.
shit, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they was fucking pissing on them. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't care. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But I feel like we should not be like that. But what I think with the welfare system, we do need to give people opportunity, man. We have to be able to be like, you know what, look, because I'm sorry, I've always said this forever. I'm like, motherfuckers on welfare ain't getting that much goddamn money. You know what I'm saying? But
can't get rich off.
yeah, you can't get rich off of it.
Yeah.
But when you look at, if you feel like you have nothing else, you know what I'm saying? You don't have any education, you have lived in the fucking ghetto all your life, and you know what I'm saying? You don't see any way out. You may think like, well, fuck, if I get another kid, I'll get a higher check. Because you haven't given anybody any type of means of filling out. If someone comes from a fucking rich area, of course they gonna feel like, shit, I could be all
world
the
is
fuck
mine.
I could be.
I could
The
be
world is
anything
mine.
I
I could
wanna
do
be.
anything.
Absolutely.
But if you come from a disenfranchised,
And we talked about
area,
geography in the last episode.
yeah, you
Where
know what
you're
I'm
at,
saying?
of
Like,
course.
so where you at, man? Like, it can give you some fucking blight, man. Like, and my heart just goes out for people like that because even though we were lucky that we had a mom that was strong enough to do that shit. We didn't fucking grow up with you know what I'm saying, a whole lot of money either.
Yeah.
But she taught us like,
Absolutely.
hey, you gotta fucking hustle. You're not gonna be lazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta
Right.
do your thing. But not everybody gets that, man.
And that's the hardest thing to remember. It's very easy, and I think that's what's the problem with this country is that it's such a me situation. Where nigga, my mom gave it to me, my dad gave it to me.
know
Why
what I
the
mean?
fuck they ain't
They didn't
got
get
it?
it.
And it's like
Not
everybody
gets
was
that,
blessed.
man.
I mean, like you
Yeah.
said, we came from a very unique situation, considering basically our mom raised us. I mean,
Yeah.
we didn't live in any projects. We didn't live in any. Honestly, I didn't. Probably till high school, I really realized how tough it was.
Yeah.
You don't realize.
You know what I'm
You don't
saying?
realize.
How tough it was.
Because when you got
for
love
mom
in
to
the
do
home,
it,
you got each other. Like niggas, you don't
exactly.
know you broke. You know?
Yeah, I remember
later.
government cheese and fucking the box milk, but I was like, I thought almost everybody had it. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
It wasn't
Like,
a big deal,
yeah.
but
Wasn't a big deal.
and then too, mom didn't really put on us that the hood is good type of shit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
That's a lot of shit.
That's a lot of shit that goes on that, you know what I'm saying? This is what you're going to be, nigga. This is where you from. You ain't going to be no more than this. You know.
Nigga, this is where your family is.
That's it.
These streets.
You want to leave?
Yeah.
You want to leave?
Go,
Nigga, you a sellout.
out, nigga. What you doing with them school books?
Knocking the school.
You ain't real. You ain't real.
You gotta realize that wasn't given to us, but
Yeah,
how
yeah.
many African and I'm gonna say Latino community too. I've seen
man.
Latinos
Yeah,
say
man.
the same shit today.
Say the
People
same
growing
shit.
up,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
Where it is a
See that
state
in
of bleakness.
in affluent neighborhoods.
Correct,
You know what I mean?
correct.
It is bleakness. Now, granted, I believe it needs to be some limits. It has to be something
Yes,
that
man.
if you
Yeah,
give
no, it
welfare
has
that,
to.
okay, look, we're gonna give you this, but you got to go to school. You got to,
Yeah, man.
We're
Seeking
going
a
to
job.
give you this.
Yeah.
I mean, because,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna say it, even in our own family. I've seen niggas be on Section 8, 20, 30 fucking years, and it's like,
Yep,
God,
yep,
leave.
yep.
How
Yeah,
much?
Like, how
How long are you going to use this situation?
Yeah.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotta be able
And
to
get
get
off of it.
Yeah.
You know, you draining the system. It has to be
Yeah.
some accountability. I agree with that
I
all
agree
day
with that.
long.
Absolutely. All day long.
Yeah,
All day long.
I agree with
But,
the aspect
you know-
of, you know, we shouldn't have niggas in the streets asking for bread and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm for, like you said, the welfare, government assistance, and things like that. But like, when it's a crutch and it
Yeah,
becomes,
it's gotta be-
where your
it's gotta
mind
be some
state is
limits.
having another kid, or you even, I mean, we see it. Niggas is selling their food stamps. Niggas ain't sometimes ain't even buying food for their
Yeah,
kids.
nah,
like
man.
niggas is like
They just getting their
slanging them
hair.
and shit. Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's like now
It's
you
like
really,
it's
now
like
you really
any
pimping
program.
it. You know what I mean?
To me,
you know?
any program. I mean, even when the
Yeah.
project was first put together,
Yeah.
it wasn't meant for what it is
No.
today. The original ideology of it
Yeah.
was for good. It was
Yeah.
supposed to be uplifting. It's supposed to be going to another.
I mean, you can talk about the New Deal was fucked up, but I think that was
It's a lot of
smart
whites
thing to
that
do,
got
you know
that
what
took
I'm saying?
advantage of the
Like,
project
But that was
situation.
that was
low
part of it, though. That was
income
part of it.
No,
That
that's
came
what
after
I'm
the New Deal.
saying.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like you keep saying that it's so bad. Like, and I feel like, dude, I feel like
Nothing
that was
good
a
came out of
thing.
it.
No,
Yeah,
the
good
projects
shit
were
that came
good
out
in the
of it.
beginning. That's
You
what I
know
was
what I
saying.
mean?
You could
Yeah.
leave the door unlocked.
Yeah.
Kids were coming over watching TV.
You know what
But
I
it's
mean?
just like any other program.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People take advantage of this shit.
Yeah.
Or you have people
Yeah.
that's running it.
Correct.
You blame the government,
Yeah.
state,
Yeah.
city, county, whoever you want to,
Absolutely.
who are not, just like now, they're not policing the people with the situation. People be on this welfare 10, 15,
Yeah.
Section 8,
Yeah.
20, 30
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Who's policing it? Who's making
Yeah.
sure that these people are taking accountability for what
Yeah.
they're, you know what I'm saying? So I don't even blame the people as much as I'm blaming these people
It's
that's
both.
supposed to be overseeing it.
It's
You
both.
overseeing it. You allowing it to happen.
Yeah.
What are you doing to make sure that you're getting these people off of these look, man, 20, 30 years, man, get the fuck off this program, man.
Well,
do
you know-
something. You got to do something. We giving you 2 more years. You done did this shit 30
Come on, man.
years. Yeah.
We saw your food. We saw your food stamp bank statement, nigga. You ain't buy no food.
No, man, come on, man. You've been paying
Yeah,
$5 rent for 30 years, nigga. You gonna have to start paying some rent
Rent
now.
cheaper than the fucking Spotify bill
Yeah,
and shit.
you know what I'm saying? You're going to have to start paying some rent now.
Spotify
You know
bill
what I'm saying?
costs more than the rent.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, yes, you got to start making these cats take accountability. And,
You can even use the EBT at KFC now.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
that should not be right.
AMPM.
Y'all remember when Oprah gave everybody a piece of chicken free? Everybody in the fucking country
I
had free
remember
chicken.
that.
You remember
What's that? I
It was
remember that.
I really didn't watch Oprah.
Like 09.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody could go get a piece
I just
of chicken.
remember the car.
That's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah. I forgot a lot of money, man.
Yeah, a lot of giveaways. Oprah.
For real.
Big ups to
Yeah,
Oprah.
but-
Big ups to
yeah,
Oprah.
Big ups to Oprah, man.
Absolutely,
But,
man.
You know what I mean? Like I'm. Yeah, it's you know it's gonna be hard to sway me. You know, I know it's hard to sway you.
Oh yeah,
I'm just-
but that's
I'm
the
just
beauty of the
really for-
conversation.
yeah.
You know, it's all different.
I'm
Just as
I'm
much
just
as you
really
can blame
for government
liberal
program.
politics for certain things,
Yeah.
you can blame you can take the blame or have the blame put on Republicans too. You know, they have put policies, and it's been known from Nixon to Reagan that have hindered African Americans.
Well, Nixon
Period.
was more responsible for the Southern
Southern what?
Southern strategy.
Oh, yeah, he played a big part in it. And,
What was that? I
You're not
can't
familiar?
believe that I'm not familiar with that. No.
The Southern strategy is really a myth that
a lot of Republicans pandered to the white racists in the South to get votes, and around the civil rights era, and it's actually a myth. Because there were 20. Because if you look at it,
I don't believe that it's not a myth.
It's just as in Reagan
because it's just like everything
took advantage of
or Carter that we talked about.
yeah.
Like they
Now,
all will.
Both sides had it. Both sides had it. But if you look at the power, though, the Senate, there was 20 Senates that were Democrat in the House. There was only one of them that went Republican, and
There's only 20, but there's like 60. I mean, there's like 100 senators. Like that seems like a very low number. It was only 20 Democrats.
20. There was 20 out of 21 senators
From the South.
from the South.
Okay.
They were all Democrat, and only after the civil rights, one of them went Republican. So when they say that the Republicans were doing the Southern strategy and had the power, how is that when the
Well, because
senators
they
were all
had,
Democrat?
just as in when Reagan took advantage of the evangelical audience from the South, it was an untapped audience. They felt that they did not have a voice. So
just like Trump.
yeah, so they took advantage of the voice that wasn't there, and that was the same with the South, where
Got you.
things got so democratic, where it was like, okay, we pander to this audience that does not feel they have a voice, and Nixon took advantage of it, just as Reagan took
Correct.
advantage of it,
Correct.
and that's when the evangelical vote became so big in the Republican Party because it was successful for Reagan, where before it never was successful.
Well, you know that
it wasn't.
the House.
It
Didn't
wasn't
have
really an
Republicans
audience.
in office till like 94, though.
None.
No,
I don't believe that shit.
94,
I'm finna Google that shit. man.
One.
94.
I ain't never.
And we ain't never put up Google on the podcast, man.
Yeah,
My
we
niggas
finna
just-
did it. Yeah, because I do not
94?
believe that shit. I mean, that's even worse than the other one. I don't believe that
1994.
shit.
Yeah,
When did the
Wait a minute, when
first-
Clinton was in office?
1994, bro.
Wait a minute, didn't
1994.
Clinton
1994. We
wait a minute, didn't the Republicans run? Because that's when Newt Gingrich was running.
1958
the joints in
was-
1994. wasn't it?
1958 was the first surge, but when we first had officially in the House was 94.
Wait, okay, so let me make sure I'm understanding you. Is that when the first time the
the-
Republicans took the House, or
No,
you had a
the first-
Republican
well,
in the House?
The first Senate was in 1958, around there.
Okay.
Because there was ran by 20 Senates, only one of them were Republican, went Republican. The rest of them stayed Democrat or were replaced by other Democrats. But we didn't officially have the House till 94.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Are you saying that you had the House, or that there was no Republican in the House at all?
First ran by the Republican House.
Oh, okay.
94. So we didn't have that power until then.
But
So what happened to
you
did
can
they
have
just
power. I mean, you had Obama,
Yeah, who
Yeah.
had a
who had a Republican base,
Yeah.
Republican
Republican House
Congress,
and Senate, yeah.
He still was voted in, so I don't understand
Well, yeah,
how
that kind
how
of
that power
Well,
equates.
that actually goes with what I'm saying, because they say that we had all the power, we created the Southern strategy. We didn't even have anyone in the House till 94, and even then we didn't have all the power.
But that's not the voting block. When you talk about the Southern strategy or the evangelical strategy, that has to do with the votes, not necessarily who's in Congress.
in Congress.
That's that they weren't pandering to the Congress or the people. They were pandering to
The voters
the
to
voting
win
block,
the-
the voter block that was not necessarily getting out to vote because they felt they weren't being spoken to. It's like you said, it's kind of like the same situation with Trump and why he was successful and why
Yeah.
he found success.
Yeah.
but
Well, that,
I don't think
that's,
it
well, that's
equated-
kinda,
I don't think it
that's kind of
equated
when it
anything
shifted,
for
because
when the
that's when
House-
Lyndon Johnson also said, well, you know, because after the slavery and the Reconstruction and all of that, and they tried to stop the voting because it was the Democrats that weren't for the 13th Amendment, the 14th Amendment, and the 15th Amendment. But after that, Lyndon said, well, if we can't stop these niggas from voting, we at least gonna make them Democrats. That was his ideology. If they're gonna be able to vote, they're gonna at least be Democrats. And then that's when he said, we're gonna have them niggas voting Democrats for 200
Okay,
years.
so let me say something that
Yeah.
I feel like I have to say.
Yeah.
I think like you're getting a little bit too far down the fucking Fox News rabbit hole with this whole Republican.
I don't
shit.
even watch Fox. That's the funny thing.
That's
that's
not like
ideology.
the shit that
That's what they
talk
talk
about.
Yeah.
First
what
of
they talk
all,
about.
even though I'm registered as a Democrat and
Yeah,
I have
Trump is a
always
Democrat, by the
voted.
way.
The nigga was
Yeah.
earlier.
Long time.
Yeah, he's a
You know what I'm saying?
he's really a Democrat. He's
Yeah.
not a real Republican.
He's not, man.
Yeah.
He found a way to
Correct.
be able
Well,
to
he
get in
said that.
again.
He said, if
Yeah.
I wanted to be president, and it
Yeah.
kills me, all the Republicans
Correct.
failed to realize, and
Correct.
he said it is. You can Google it.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to be president, all I got to do is go Republican.
Yeah, he said that.
That's all I got to do, and I can be president. Go by what Fox says, and they will fall in line, and I will be president.
Pandering,
And that's
once
exactly
again.
what he did.
Absolutely.
And somehow all his followers have never seen this video before.
Yeah, I know about it.
I mean, they had the pictures of him, you know what I'm saying, at the fundraisers, with,
he
with
went
the
to
Clintons.
Hillary's
yeah.
wedding.
Yeah.
He's been a Democrat his whole life.
Yeah, and then
Now he's Republican.
you know what I'm saying?
What, my bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
so but what I was gonna say is that, I don't feel, a total allegiance to a party just based on a party. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not just
I
voting for
feel
someone
on it
because they have an R next to their name.
Exactly.
No.
I vote because, and I identify with myself as a Democrat.
Correct.
Because truly the Democratic agenda is more in line to what I believe in.
Correct.
And
I know your beliefs. Yeah.
Yeah.
You say them.
believe,
Say them.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe in, that we do have to have government subsidies, that, people need help. I believe in, gay rights. I believe in, rights for everyone equally. I believe I believe in abortion rights.
Yeah.
I believe in some form of some gun control rights. I'm just more in line
Correct.
with that agenda. I believe in universal health care for everyone in the country. Like,
I know you love Canada.
Yeah, I love Canada, man.
Socialism.
You know what I'm saying?
I love your boys.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love the way the Swedes do it.
So
Shout out
yeah.
to the Swedes.
Shout out to the
Cold as
Swedes.
hell.
Yeah. So you know what I mean? That is, those things in my heart are truly what I believe in.
Correct.
So I am going to, vote for somebody
Absolutely.
who, I believe in. I don't believe in the Republican agenda, and it's not just because it's Republican and that, they didn't use the Southern strategy and blacks should vote a certain way. No, fuck that. Blacks shouldn't vote for a certain party because they're black or they're white. Like, they should vote with their fucking heart. You know what I'm saying?
We did that wrong with Obama.
But I didn't.
Nah.
I'm just saying the
You
general
know what I'm
population.
saying? Maybe the general population, but
I mean,
you know what I mean? Like,
but that's like saying a bunch of white people voted for Trump because he was white. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
because I really think
And there's nothing wrong with that. Like
Yeah.
I said, it's
I
like
really-
an employer. You might
Yeah.
gravitate if you see a black guy. Oh man, let me help a brother out. There's a sense
Yeah.
of everyone that felt proud. that we had a black
extremely.
president. Of
But
course.
I think more than people just voting for Obama because he was black in the black Latino, in the black and Latino
Latino,
community,
there's a big
because
Latino that voted
that's
for him,
really
too.
what pushed him over.
A lot of
Was
white
that
folks voted
fact
too,
that-
though.
Oh no,
Yeah, a lot of white folks
he
voted.
take it
He'd
back.
never been president. but
Yeah,
they voted
yeah,
for him.
a lot of white
he
folks
got
voted
that.
too.
But I think what he did right for the black vote was that he actually engaged them to go out and vote.
Oh yeah.
I think
no, yeah,
that
absolutely.
was
That was the first
the
time we
bigger di-
can
yeah, that-
exercise our civic duty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I
As
think
a-
that's what
as
kind
a
of
large
pushed
whole.
it, you know what I'm
Correct,
saying,
as a large whole.
for, with blacks. But I don't think that there were, a lot. I don't know. I maybe I can't
Yeah.
speak for someone. I was gonna say I don't think there are a lot of black people that voted for him just because he was black.
I
think a lot of
go
people
from
went out and
the
voted.
Chris Rock school, where
Oh, I like that
just
one, too.
because Flavor Flav is black, but if he's running for president, it don't mean I'm gonna go out and
Exactly, that's
vote
what
for
I'm
it.
saying. I'm like,
And they said
Jesse
some things
Jackson
I'm liberal
never.
about, some things I'm conservative about. He said,
Yeah.
So I'm
Jesse
not
Jackson
gonna
never
sit here-
moved me. I mean, I was too young to
I wouldn't vote for
back
Al
then,
Sharpton.
but-
I wouldn't vote for Al Sharpton. So I don't
No, you're right.
prescribe to that ideology.
that's right.
Of course, there's some that did it. You know,
Yeah,
just as in there was some that voted for Hillary because she was a female. Some
Yep.
females that
Of course.
did that.
Of course.
They felt
There's a sense
some
of pride.
certain
There's a sense of
pride
pride.
and
Yeah.
wanted to see that,
course.
for their daughters or whatever. But I don't know. Like you said, we know too. I kind of fall in line with a lot of the beliefs that that Skits has as well. Lean, more democratic.
Yeah.
On a lot of situations. But like you said, I mean, it was a time where, like, when Colin Powell was going to run and he was Republican, I was going to vote for his ass.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to.
Because you rocked with him personally.
Yeah. And John McCain, even when he was running against, because I wasn't a big fan of.
But he fucking killed it when he went with old girl.
Yeah.
Like,
not the first time. I mean, the first one.
he was with,
that.
No, it was McCain Edwards.
Yeah, and that was when because I didn't dig the what was the boy's name?
John Kerry.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Kerry, the old big Swiss boat. Yeah. I wasn't a big fan of Kerry. But when McCain was the Maverick, I dug McCain.
Yeah.
I really dug what he stood for. I didn't dig him when he got with Sarah. The Maverick stuff was gone.
Yeah.
So I really didn't dig
Even now, man, he going against, you know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
he's back. He's the old, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if it's because now he's not running no more.
Yeah.
I just think Bush kicked him so much in the ass when he was trying to run that it was like, okay, well, let me get with the program now.
Yeah.
Maybe this Maverick shit ain't working.
Maybe this ain't working.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And now he's known as the white guy that lost to the black guy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm one too where I don't, like I said, I don't feel Reaganomics and what he did and this and that, or Nixon and J. Edgar Hoover did some foul shit to my people.
Yeah.
But for me to sit here and say it was the Republican agenda that fucked up black folk would be a lie. As I said before, it simplifies it. It's a lot of stuff. That, don't get me wrong, that played a big part. Nixon, like I said, him and Hoover did some foul shit to our people. You know what I'm saying? But for me to blame everything on the Republican agenda, that's bullshit.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not to call what you're saying bullshit, but for anybody to blame all the problems on African Americans on the liberal agenda is bullshit to me too. It's because it's too complex. You can't blame everything that's going on with us to one thing. Yeah, maybe to a degree, certain things. You can point to a lot of things that has happened to the downfall of African Americans. I think segregation played a big part.
Shouts out to Eisenhower.
A lot.
Eisenhower was pro
because after a while,
he also was.
When you look at businesses and all kind of things like that,
a lot of people say that, man. Like, it's sad to say, but a lot of people say segregation, man, really fucked up.
Because now instead of supporting us and wanting to do for us. That was lost. It was like we said. Now I don't have to go to the black store. I can go to this white store that wasn't, and I can open for me no more. Yeah, I made it.
What else they're talking about? I remember I was watching the thing one time. They're talking about the black flight is what really,
that's
it was
true.
always
That's
white
true.
flight, but then it was black flight because when niggas started getting money, they was like, shit, I'm getting the fuck up out of this black neighborhood. Like I done made it with the whites, nigga. Jefferson's, I done moved it up. You know what I mean?
And there was a sense of achievement with that.
You know what I mean?
Where the bar, we had so little, the bar was just that low. We're just being in a white neighborhood.
Yeah, man.
That nigga.
He's like, oh, shit.
And that still happens today.
It still happens today. It still happens.
Nigga got a house next to some white people. That nigga think,
that nigga.
God.
You can't touch that nigga, man.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? Too, and I love what Jay-Z said in his interview when he was talking about the title and the Spotify, where it was
same thing.
You know, same thing. He was like,
I don't know why they give me so much.
Why they give me so much flack?
Man.
My deal is better than Spotify.
Now I know that came from the heart when you sent that text because you're like, man, that's some real shit.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I'm going black, man.
I'm going black because it's some real shit. Because I look at it.
I seen all the.
What did he say?
Tell him, Jay.
He was saying that a lot of people was jumping on his deal that he had with artists for Tidal. But they don't. His deal is better than Spotify, but they don't jump on Spotify.
Oh, so people.
And he feel. I just think that because I'm black.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, he said, I don't take it personally.
I don't take it personally.
I think us as a people have the problem.
Yeah.
Because
they were like, do you think it's personal to you? Do you think it's you? And he was like, no, I don't take nothing personal. I think it's more of we have an issue.
But it's to me, I look at it like
ourselves.
Where it is true because it's like
our own.
Puffy can have the same contract as Jimmy Iovine,
they won't say shit about Jimmy Iovine's contract.
Yep.
But we will jump on Puffy for these bad contracts.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Ain't nobody proud of the bad boy. All the nigga loon in jail selling Obama phones. nigga loon.
Is that nigga selling Obama phone?
He was selling.
No, no, he wasn't. That nigga look.
All right, this is pre-Obama phone, which is really the Reagan phone. A lot of people think it's the Obama phone. That's a whole other topic.
But he was just saying how us.
But he was selling
it's
burnt
easy
phones.
to kick.
Like burnt phones. Yeah. My nigga
He was doing it, man.
Y'all didn't hear about that?
No, man.
Yeah.
Dude, that whole there is a whole fucking weird bad
G-Dab.
boy thing.
Oh, yeah,
it's a bad
turned
thing.
himself in. My nigga Shine.
Yeah.
I don't like the way one nigga Puffy did.
Different lawyers and shit.
Different lawyers.
Yeah.
Lost tapes. Shout out to Lost tapes.
Hell yeah, nigga, I think
Fucking Lost
that
tapes,
is
man.
the dopest.
Yeah,
Nas
that
I've
shit.
ever read.
That is one of his
Man, one of his best.
One of his
man.
classic
Yeah,
classic
nigga,
roles,
there's some wrong shit.
But nah,
yeah,
you're
Yeah,
right,
but
man.
no, that's what
I
he spoke
didn't
on.
know that,
where
man.
it's
I've
like,
seen so many niggas giving Jay-Z flack on Tidal, just
Yeah.
Twitter hating, like, oh, it costs more. He was even refuting
Yeah.
that. Like, it's
yeah,
the
he's
same
like,
price.
It's the same price. It's
You know what I mean?
$9.99.
Niggas just find anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
man.
it's black, but won't say shit about Spotify.
That shit
won't
is
say
real,
shit
though.
about
Yeah,
Apple
yeah,
Music.
yeah.
And it was. I told
Correct.
you, it was after that interview. I said, man, fuck, I'm going black.
This shit is
Yeah,
so
going
real,
black.
man. I mean, because we see it all the time, man. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, we always
Nah,
shit on
it's true.
each other, man.
Our
Like,
own people.
Yeah, man. Niggas be doing
And what I
niggas
need
wrong,
niggas to
man.
do too, man, is after an incident happened, if a brother gets shot or niggas is rallying, like, don't just be pro-black and say I'm supporting black businesses for that week and then forget about it.
Yeah, exactly. Support black businesses all the time.
And if you niggas is pro-black, why you didn't have title? You know what I mean? Like, you niggas didn't have title, but you pro-black. And,
Y'all niggas making me
essentially-
feel like, man, I need to, man.
You know what I mean? And essentially, that's not to say, you know,
That we only need to fuck with black shit.
that's not to say
You know what I mean?
cancel your Spotify
Yeah,
Premium, but it's
yeah.
saying like nigga, you can't support Jay-Z too.
Yeah.
Everybody usually got two premium
Anyway,
streaming platforms
man.
anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Why
Now
not?
some niggas take it too far. They be all pro black. I'm going to black banks. I ain't talking to no white people.
Yeah.
Like nigga,
No,
you have to deal with
Yeah,
other cultures.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
There's no way around it.
That's like
It's a melting pot.
That's like me calling like all my non-black producers, nigga. No more beat. Don't send me no beats,
No
nigga.
beats, my
Lyrical, I'm
nigga.
out of
Yeah, nigga, I'm out.
Fuck this shit.
I can't be rapping with no white folks.
Can't be rapping with no white nigga, man.
Black beats. That's it.
Black beats
All
at
black.
blackbeats@gmail.com. Nigga, hit me up. Black beats.
You black, I'm taking your beat. White boys, nigga.
Black beats. That's it. Exactly.
Black beats.
Yeah, but
But now I do want to invest in black banks.
But like you said,
and I'm going to make that move
now you
towards
should
that.
take initiative
Yeah.
to try to
Yeah.
support
You know
black
what I'm saying?
businesses.
But
Yeah,
that doesn't
man.
mean
Yeah.
I'm going to just cut Wells Fargo and anybody.
Exactly.
No,
Yeah.
not necessarily.
Yeah.
But it's like you said, if I'm saying that I'm pro-black or I want to support, I don't even want to say pro-black,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
want to support
Correct.
Yeah.
black
Correct. There's nothing wrong with that.
institutions.
Nah, man.
You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to do that because
Yeah.
I feel rather it's Native American, Jewish communities. This is Asian communities, Chinese,
Yep.
Japanese.
Yep.
This is how they flourish because they do that.
Yeah.
They will go
Yeah.
to their respective people or people's business and want to make that business successful.
You know what
I'm
they'll also
saying?
do? They'll live with their parents for several years, and then
Yes.
go cop a house.
And niggas do not do that.
And then what do we say? You live with your mom.
Yeah, exactly. And,
Oh, the parents
let me
wanna
tell
take
you
them
this.
out.
You say,
Yeah,
yeah,
you grown,
you know what I
you
mean?
grown, get the hell out the house.
You know what I mean? My
You can't
Asian
be-
friends, married too, with
Yeah,
kids,
man.
live
They
with their
wanna
mom, a couple,
leave
their
the
parents
house
a couple
for
years.
real.
Niggas
Well,
went and cop the crib.
A lot of Latinos
Now,
do that
black
too.
people
They
need
do
to
the
have that
same thing.
discipline to do that.
Yeah, man.
But it's like the mindset is totally different.
The
It's
parents,
totally
it's
different,
totally
you know what I
different.
mean?
Like you said, man, 18.
They're almost offended
get
that
out.
you want to go.
Yeah, get out.
Especially the Indian community.
You don't do it.
Yeah.
You leave.
Asian community, you,
know
don't
what I mean?
do it.
Yeah, you leaving?
You don't leave your family.
Hell nah. Y'all all staying here. You know? So it's,
Yeah,
it's a
we do
totally
not do
different
that.
culture,
We don't
man.
do it.
Totally
It's-
different
it's-
culture.
it's-
And we talk about wealth, generational wealth, right?
My boy Ho spoke on that.
Yeah, generational wealth. You know, I know I was having a debate with a group of white friends, and it was funny. I was telling them that
because he one of them was saying, I felt if you look at like all the wealth, if you look at even if you Google like richest people or you look at millionaires from Mark Cuban, Steve Jobs, all of these people, they didn't come from a wealth background. Most millionaires that you look at are a lot of them are self-made.
Yeah, a lot.
So
of them
I think sometimes we have a false interpretation that all these white people are coming from wealth. Don't get me wrong. We haven't came from that wealth. And this is a group. I say group of white people because it brings this conversation into context. Because I'm saying one thing, and I was saying that's when I'm looking at all these different millionaires, they didn't come from that wealth. Mark Cuban made $6,000 investment while he was in college and just bought his first business. He scraped up $6,000 and that was his start of his entrepreneurship. So I think that one of them had said something to me, and white guy, and he was like, you know what? I agree with that, but I do feel that we pass on more. He said it may not be a lot, but it's something. He said we might pass on a life insurance policy. We might pass on a will. Black folks, statistically, are not having those.
They're not doing it.
So
They die, and
he
it's
says we're being
nothing there.
born with a little bit of something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This
Well,
is-
no, I
and this is coming from a white man.
Yeah, and what's so funny is that I was just about to say something about that when we were just talking about the houses, because I was like, I've even known a lot of white folks that, you know, not only did they stay with their parents, you know what I'm saying, until they got a house, the parents helped with the down payment.
Yeah, that too.
You
That
know what
too,
I'm saying?
bro. That too.
You know what I mean?
True.
Because it's like,
True.
oh, okay, I'm gonna help you
absolutely.
get your
Yeah,
start.
absolutely.
You need to own a home. You know what I'm
Yup.
saying?
Yup.
You know, it's one of the most important things to do, or whatever. You know,
It's true,
and
man.
we
We're
not
not
do
in that
shit.
situation. That could
Niggas is like,
every
nigga, I'm keeping
every black person I've seen that got their home did it on their own.
Did it on their own, man.
And then I'm not saying
up.
the parents didn't want to help, but they
Correct.
just
Yeah, they
they weren't in that
Yeah.
position to provide. You know, whether it was finances or credit. I mean, you got a lot of white cats that don't have the money just straight up.
Correct.
Yeah.
But that's nothing that's lacking in our community.
That's when I
Man,
thought about
credit
it, though. Like, when he
worthiness.
said that,
Yeah,
I was
that's
like, man,
crazy
we
when he
got
said that.
I was like,
That is
man, you know,
real,
especially
man.
coming from you, man. You know, it's like
Yeah.
that's true, and I guess, you know, that's accountability that we have to take because
Yes.
we would have more of our children starting with something.
Yes.
If we had more wills,
If we
more life
had
insurance
more,
policies,
Taught 'em
more
credit,
things like that. Yeah, taught them
taught 'em how
credit.
important
You know what I
credit
mean?
is, you know, make
What-
sure we help them get on that path. I mean,
Correct.
we kind of
Correct.
leave our kids out
Yeah.
to fucking like
Yeah.
do whatever the fuck they want to do. Okay, well, you grown, you can do
Yeah,
it.
hey, you know what I mean? I figured it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, you ain't figured it out all the way
Exactly.
yet.
No, you ain't. You really ain't figured it out.
I figured it out. Nigga still exactly.
all the
still
bullshit
struggling.
you had to go through.
Yeah.
You can get a little
for
piece
real.
of the game.
You know what I mean?
And still ain't got no money in the bank, and still got bad credit.
And if you think about it, these are
Don't
little
own
things.
home.
These are just little steps that we can take.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Life insurance policy, you can get that for fucking $50 a month, $40 a month. It don't got to be $1 million policy.
Nah, it doesn't.
But it's like something.
Yeah.
You know?
Or even like what we've spoken of before, just giving your kids that confidence. Like I said, in the fluent family, even if it isn't necessarily money in abundance, they're teaching their kids that
It's a little something.
they can do something.
Little something.
You can have it.
Yeah.
Get out there, you can get it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, isn't it that kick it down? Oh, nigga, you ain't gonna be that. Oh, nigga, put that book down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You ain't,
yeah.
this the hood is where it's good. You ain't gonna be shit. I wasn't shit. Your daddy wasn't shit. You know what I'm saying? It's so that's what we're giving our kids, you know, and then we're expecting them to excel out there.
Yup.
You know, now some do. Don't
Correct.
get me wrong. There's some
a lot of
that-
successful-
yeah, that came from
Moguls from the projects.
yeah,
You know?
I'm saying that came
Yeah.
from that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, it's hard. You know, you have to be honest. You know, it's hard. So it's like even if you can't give them something financially,
Yeah.
you better give them some game. You better give them something.
Something, man.
Yeah.
You better give them something.
I think that, I mean, man, and this, we never even introed this whole show. Like, there's like so much shit.
We hit the ground
I don't even
running.
know
Yeah,
what
we
to
just
give
hit
the
the ground
title.
running. Yeah,
I don't even know what the title is.
You'll find it.
Yeah, you find it in there.
Get that right up.
Yeah. But I was tripping off of, you know what I'm saying? I was just about to say that, you know, it's just so much shit in the black community, which is a whole nother show that, we need to fucking fix. You know what I'm saying?
Correct,
Because
correct.
when you
That we
look
really
at-
can't blame on nobody.
Yeah, we can't blame nobody but ourselves, man. Nobody
Yeah.
but ourselves. All of our, wanting to, whether it be the fake flossing and, you know what I'm saying,
The money phone?
The money phone. The money phone. The disconnect.
Yeah, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? We don't save money. We don't put money away. I mean,
No.
they say shit, man. The largest, majority of millionaires is the millionaire next door, man. Motherfuckers that, got a whole bunch of money, in stocks and, you know what I'm
Correct.
saying? And,
Correct.
shit in the bank, this account, that account. You wouldn't even know that they do have it. You know what I mean?
And they probably driving a Nissan Leaf.
Exactly.
A Leaf.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's
mean,
exactly what it is.
You look at, even that happened like after the Great Depression, where it was like the wealthier people got, the less they they dressed plain, they dressed in plain jeans and
They were scared. They
Yeah,
never knew
you know what I mean?
if this was
Yeah.
going to happen again.
Yeah,
So
you know what
they
I mean?
they
It was
started
real
to prepare
conservative.
themselves. Yeah.
They didn't show the wealth.
Nah.
Wasn't no fucking like ancient England.
Yeah.
They was wearing royal purple. It's like
big ass fucking
yeah,
collar.
big ass. Yeah, it was like after that Great Depression, it was like
it's like-
and maybe that's what Kanye's going through. Maybe he's like let me get these holy jeans and shit. Maybe we figured it out. Man.
Yeah, maybe. That's why you got that shit.
Yeah, the more wealthy you're saying, you just want to be
You know what I
plain.
mean? You want to
know
be
what I mean?
plain, man. You want to blend in. You know what
Even
I'm saying?
even you look at the dealership, the nigga that come in like not all like he's just regular nigga. He probably flip flops or whatever. He got great credit. He probably gonna put 10 grand down, whatever it is. You know,
You like that.
yeah.
He prioritized.
Yeah.
Put everything in his right
It
priority.
ain't always what it look. You know.
Nah, not even, man. Not
Correct. So yeah, man, this we
Man,
tied in a
it's
lot of
interesting.
different.
Tied all
even.
that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It was like,
But
all
you
over
know,
the
it's one thing too I want to touch on that we didn't get a chance to touch on, and I know it might be a little confusing to the listeners. Early on, and I know you're hearing a lot of Three Brothers in the
I was
Mic,
gonna say the same thing.
different things.
Thank you, bro.
I didn't think about that when I was hearing it. I was
Yeah.
like,
Those
I never
were-
thought about cutting it. I mean, it is what
and
it is.
I thought about when I was on it, when I was mixing it, I was like,
we did a whole lot
should
of
I
branding on
cut
that
it?
shit.
Yeah, I was like, should I cut it? But then I was like, fuck, I really don't know how to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So basically, the podcast was originally called Three Brothers in the Mic, and we had recorded a couple episodes before we actually put it out to the audience. Unfortunately, after we recorded it and was ready to put it out to the audience, we come to find there was already a podcast.
Good thing
called
we
Three
found that
Brothers in the
before we
Mic.
put 'em
yeah,
out. Yeah.
before we put them out.
It was all on Ant right there.
Yeah,
Hey,
so
man,
it was
you know,
a
team
quick
effort.
change from Three Brothers in the Mic to A Fine Mess.
Correct.
So we just want to just put that out to people that it's the same show. You ain't getting mixed up. It's not
Yeah.
twisted. It's just those shows were pre-recorded before we found out that there was somebody else with the Three Brothers in the Mic podcast. And
Yeah.
it was the quick change from that to A Fine Mess.
And you are tuned in to A Fine Mess.
Yes, you are.
For sure. Yeah, this is a fine mess.
Absolutely, man.
And as you see, this episode is a fine
Oh,
mess.
this shit was
Like,
crazy.
you know what
And
I'm saying?
I think I got another what the fuck moment from Skits. I think
Yeah, you did.
I think I got another one. I got another one.
Skits always gonna give you one. Skits gonna give you one.
I got to remember what part it was.
Yeah, we'll have to go back and listen to it. But I remember, I was like, God damn. I'm
My
like,
nigga even pulled up Google. He was like, nigga, I ain't never even pulled up Google. Nigga, hold on.
hold on. Nigga. I'm trying to look at the screen. I'm like, this nigga bullshit. Like, what the fuck? I'm like,
Who gave this nigga that?
Nah, what there? What site
Get
that nigga on?
Steve Bannon give him that shit? Who the fuck gave him that?
Breitbart? Is that what you got?
Oh yeah, I fuck with Breitbart.
You do?
Breitbart.
Oh, man.
Fuck with Breitbart.
I guess you fuck with that motherfucker. What's his name? Johan
got
Gonopoulos or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, is that the gay boy?
Well, yeah,
Milo?
he always talking. He is.
Yeah, but he
right?
talks shit
He
about
talks
gay,
shit about him, but
he's
yeah,
gay.
but he's gay.
With a black boyfriend.
oh,
Milo, yeah, Milo.
Milo, yeah, Milo,
With the
yeah,
black boyfriend.
Gonopoulos.
This
Wow.
Milo's crazy.
Yeah.
Milo's crazy. You know what? I'm more of a Ben Shapiro kind of guy.
I don't know none of them niggas.
I fuck with Ben Shapiro. I fuck with Ben
you
Shapiro.
say Breitbart, I'm
yeah. I fuck with Anderson Cooper, my nigga.
Van Jones.
Yeah, my nigga. Yeah, Van Jones. That's my nigga right there.
Yeah, because when you guys say Fox, like I don't even watch Fox. You know what I mean? I don't even fuck with Fox.
Yeah.
Bill O'Reilly, all them niggas, man. I'm glad that nigga off.
Yeah.
That nigga called everybody a pinhead.
I know. Yeah.
Now this nigga got a sex
Talking shit about Luda.
Yeah.
Talking shit about Luda, man.
Exactly.
Fuck Bill O'Reilly.
Remember when he had Cam and Dame Dash on there? That was the classic episode. You remember that? You never seen that episode?
No.
Neighbors on O'Reilly? Oh,
No.
nigga, that's classic.
What? I didn't know they went on Bill
Cam and Dame Dash went up there.
Get out of here.
I just remember the Cam
He's like, I got dirt on you,
interview
dog.
on.
I got dirt on you, dog. You don't remember that?
Nah.
Oh, that's
I just remember him on
classic.
60 Minutes. That's
Yeah,
what
they had like a black principal on there from some school, and they were trying to blame like rap music. He was like, my kids are listening to your music.
Yeah.
Or Bill O'Reilly had to do it on the show, and they were going back and forth.
Yeah.
And, it was crazy. It was it's classic.
Oh,
That shit
damn, I
was
gotta
like-
look that
It went
up.
viral like back in the day. Yeah, that's you gotta see that
I
shit.
ain't up on that
Yeah,
shit.
Cam was
Damn.
hilarious up there. Yeah.
Did that nigga have on the purple coat? Nigga? The purple fur.
He didn't have no fur. I think he had on some purple or pink or
Yeah.
something.
Nigga, yeah. Killer
Exactly.
Cam.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, dang, nah.
Killer.
That was my shit.
We're gonna have to do an episode on the Dipset era too. Woo coming up.
Oh, yeah.
The Woo episode is coming, y'all.
Yeah, it's coming, man.
Y'all
I know,
waiting on that.
I know
We
we're
got
supposed to, you know what I'm saying?
Hit y'all with it a little earlier.
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
coming.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We kind of got caught in a tangent.
There's so much shit
man.
going on. In the
Yeah,
world,
man. It's just,
Yup.
It's really hard to
Yeah.
ignore it and after Charlottesville and so many other things going on.
Rest in peace to the young lady that lost her life.
most definitely.
That was
man.
fucking sad.
Yeah, it was hella sad.
Rest in peace to a lot. It's a lot going on, man. Rest in peace to Dick Gregory.
Oh,
Jerry
yeah.
Lewis.
Yeah.
I mean, we lost two
comics.
comics in one weekend,
Yeah.
man.
That's crazy.
And now we got the flooding in Texas, man.
That's fucked up, man.
More,
Yeah.
man. Much
shit
love
is-
and respect to everybody out there in Texas who got family. And
My boy
going
D
through
out
it
there too, man. I've been trying to see.
Oh,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
man.
You know how he
He's
is,
in
man.
Houston, right?
Yeah, he's in Houston. You know,
That's
I haven't heard. From,
crazy,
yeah, you know, I just
man.
shot him like some like.
He didn't hit
help
back
you
yet?
and the fam. Nah, he ain't hit back, but he's got bad at that shit too.
Okay.
So
you can't
I'm like,
blame
all right,
him all
yeah,
the way on that.
yeah, exactly. I'm like, well, okay, the nigga know how to be dead. There's many times where I text him, man.
Like, he should be good.
Yeah.
Word.
Should be good.
If he's usually punctual,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
then I'll be
Yeah.
like, shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, that
Okay,
motherfucker
I
like
got
take
you.
like 2 days to get back.
I got you.
But it's just a lot going on
Yeah,
in the
sad.
world right now, man.
Yeah.
And it's hard to ignore it. You know, we try to keep it lighthearted as we can, but then we real at the same time where it's like we can't ignore what's going on, and it has to be spoken. And I don't mean just with us. I don't mean just with African Americans.
Correct.
It
Everyone
has
needs
to
to
be a
take
dialogue.
accountability. You and I were just
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah.
that with some of our cousins. Like, I know we talk about the New Deal, Southern strategies, liberals, all that shit. But
Breitbart.
there's a lot of other components to it. You know what I mean? I could go on all day on why I sway more right than left. But, it all boils down to, I think, accountability.
Yeah.
I think that black folks need to take accountability for what's going on in their communities. White folks need to take accountability for the racism that's still going on, that the ones that don't agree with it. I think the Muslims that aren't radicalized need to step up and take accountability.
You know, like
for
we
the
were
ones
talking
that
about
are.
earlier.
You know,
just so many
everybody
different-
just
man.
take accountability in your own creed.
Yeah.
And everything should fucking tie together. You know what I mean? This should probably never be all the way right.
Yeah.
But
you know
It
what
could
I
be
mean?
better.
it could be better. You know what I
could be
mean?
better.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely better, man.
we're
It's
never
like-
gonna live in a utopia, but I mean, this should be better. Like you
It doesn't have to be
Yeah,
what it is
it
today.
does not
It's
have
just
to be,
it's just
man.
crazy that
said. Yeah.
in a society that us as the United States of America, that we're in this bullshit in 2017. We still on
See
some
those-
race shit
see-
in 2017.
That shit is crazy.
Yeah.
You know,
Like, it to me, I just feel like it's so unbelievable sometimes, man. I just be like, where the fuck, are we really, man?
where
You know
did
what
we
I
go
mean?
wrong? And it's just
Yeah.
like everything else. I mean, to blame it on one situation is to simplify. It's just not that easy. It's so many different things that you could point to.
Correct.
But I think more than anything is accountability. It's dialogue too, man. We gotta. you got to be able to sit down, and I see this with a lot in our family, and that's the beauty of us is that, you know, with different ideologies, we can still sit down. But you guys know as well as I do, there's family members where if you ain't running with what they believe in, they ain't talking. It's and I believe that is the problem with the country, is that everybody is. You know what I'm saying?
Coexisting ratio is just crazy. Like you said, it happens in the family. It happens everywhere.
Yeah, it happens everywhere.
I think if everyone can have an open dialogue like this, man, shit.
Man. I mean,
niggas don't gotta agree and shit. You can have what the fuck you talking about, moment. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I can't fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
it don't have to be that.
It's okay to pull up Google and be like, what this nigga talking about?
Yeah, this nigga really talking
cool. You know what I mean?
Exactly, man.
Exactly.
I'm like, you still my motherfucking brother, man. But when it comes down to it, you know, whether, you know, you fucking read Breitbart or whatever.
Yeah.
Still my nigga, man. You know what I'm saying?
MC Bright. Niggas that call me Breitbart.
Call a nigga Breitbart, the Breitbart New Deal.
Breitbart New Deal.
That's the t-shirt right there, man.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
That's the t-shirt right there.
We don't have to, you know what I'm saying, you know, all agree, man, you know, and we never will. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, people can just think about the small microcosm of your own house. You know what I'm saying? Like,
everybody don't get.
I mean, not everybody gonna get along. You and your wife is not gonna agree on everything. You're not gonna.
Your kids.
Your kids, man. There's gonna be some times where they gonna get on your fucking nerves. You know what I'm saying?
It's not the world we live in where everybody fucking agrees with you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You know, but a lot of people.
And the quicker you learn that, the better off you be.
Yeah, but
you'll actually learn more talking to people who don't agree with you.
Man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
I don't get it, dude. I don't.
That.
It's two things. I don't want to be with a bunch of people that think like me, and I don't want to be the smartest nigga in the room.
No, man, never.
Because every podcast that we have, I might say some shit, y'all say some shit. It still make me think when I go home.
Exactly.
Everybody, you should want to think when you go back home and be like, okay, man, maybe I should look more into that, or maybe they'll look more into this, or you
but
know
if we all
mean?
thinking and talking the same shit, I'm just going home. I'm not.
Correct.
I ain't learned nothing.
This was just a yes man show. Yeah, you're right, man. You know, man. Oh, you on me too. Oh, we get in this episode. We done. Oh, yeah.
We all agree.
Hope you enjoyed the show. If you want to hear more agreements, tune in next week.
We can't even call it a mess.
Exactly. Where the mess at? Where the mess?
It ain't messy. Oh my God. We all agree. These niggas is too nice about the shit. They agree on every damn thing.
Where the damn mess?
Where's the mess at?
Like I said, if you want to hear some more agreements,
tune in next week.
Say, there's some nice niggas on that.
Nice niggas.
There's some nice niggas.
Niggas is nice. I want to hear about more niggas like that.
We can invite them over to dinner.
Non-confrontational? Yeah. That's funny, man.
nice niggas, man.
Yeah. Good shit, man. We hope y'all enjoyed it.
Hope you enjoyed it, man.
Hope y'all enjoyed it, man.
Yeah.
You know,
We thank everybody, man, that's been coming in, man, joining in on the fun, man, trying to get a little game with us.
Yeah.
We definitely appreciate it. We know
shout out
it's
to
a
all the
whole
listeners,
lot,
man.
lot more you could be doing in 2 hours and some change, or 2 hours and sit and listen to three cats talk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
If you tuning in to this on your commute while you chilling, man, that's awesome, and we appreciate it.
We appreciate the
for
love,
real.
man, and
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? We hope that you know, we meet your expectations, man, and we keeping you engaged and giving you some things to think about, and you know what I'm saying? You know, getting you through your day, man. You know, it's all love, man.
All love.
For sure, man.
Want to hit him with that outro, man?
Yeah.
Man, just keep living them dreams out there, man. You stop dreaming, you stop living, man. Constant elevation, cause expansion, as the brother Rakim once said. So, you know, with that, man, any other game y'all want to drop, man?
Thanks for tuning in. Fine, man.
Man. That was perfect, man.
Podcast.
Bongs.